Okay, so for our next set of problems off the Unit 4 review, we're going to be dealing with finding lengths of line segments where we have angles either outside of the circle, like in number 6 or number 8, or inside the circle with two chords intersecting, like in number 7. So we'll be looking at problems 6, 7, 8, and also 9, which is kind of a combination problem. All right, so we have two formulas. Pop, pop, and ow, ow. All right, if the angle is outside, you use ow, ow, which stands for outside times whole equals outside times whole. All right, so looking at number 6, let's look first at this secant line. The part outside of the circle is 8. But the whole thing is 8 plus x. So we're going to have 8 plus x because x is the part inside. So this is the whole secant length. That is equal to, we do the same thing for the other side. So the part outside is 7, but the part inside is 7 plus 9. All right, so I'm going to distribute here. That's going to give me 8 times 8 is 64, plus 8 times x is 8x, equals, and then 7 times, well, I could add this first and then multiply, or I can multiply distributing the 7 through and then adding the two numbers together. Either way, let's just show that on here. I can do 7 times 7, 7 times 9, and then add those together, and I get 112. Or I can put it all in at once, and I get 112. Or I can say 7 plus 9 is 16 and multiply by the 7 out front, and I get 112. So no matter how you set it up, you're going to get 112 over there. All right, so then I just have to solve for x, as this is find the value of x. So I'm going to subtract 64. That's going to give me 8x equals, and 48. And then divide by 8, and I get x equals 6 as my answer. So if it's outside, if the angle is outside, you're using ow, ow. Outside times whole equals outside times whole. Let's try that again for number 8. In this case, the line segment CD, the entire line segment is outside of the circle. In other words, the whole line segment length is the same as the part outside, but we're still setting up the same equation. But now the outside is 12 and the whole is 12. Most common mistake I see people making is forgetting that you have to multiply it by itself there. You have a second 12. And then for the other one, the part outside is 9, and the whole is going to be x plus 9, or 9 plus x, either way you want to look at it. 12 times 12 is 144. I'm going to go ahead and distribute here. That's 81 plus 9x. Subtract 81. That gives me 63 equals 9x. And divide by 9. Gives me x equals 7. So both of those use the ow, ow formula because the angle is outside of the circle. So what do you do if it's inside the circle? Well, that's where pop, pop comes in. Pop, pop. Technically, it stands for product of parts, equals product of parts. So this O stands for the word of, but you can also think of it as part times part equals part times part, whichever way works for you. So basically the two parts of each chord get multiplied together. So 16 times 9. And then the other chord, we have x times 8. This one usually gives us easier equations. So 16 times 9, let's see, 16 times 9 is 144. And 8 times x is just 8x. Divide by 8. And that gives me x equals 18. Now, it does say to find the value of x, but then it also says to find the length of YA. So if x now is 18, that means that the entire length YA is 18 plus 8, which is 26. All right, so we have ow, ow, if the angle is outside, pop, pop, if the angle is inside. Now, sometimes you're going to have a problem that combines both of them. So number 9 does that. All right, so the first thing I would do is I would look just at this part of the problem. Just completely ignore this for a minute. Okay, if you look at just the circle part, you have a pop, pop situation. So we know that we're going to have 6 times x equals 9 times y. Now, unfortunately, I can't solve that yet because I have 2 variables and only one equation. So then I'm going to look at the ow, ow part of it, which is this whole chord, secant actually, this whole secant and that one. So I have this one is 6 plus x plus 32. So my outside part of it, I'm going to use ow, ow. Outside part is 32, but the whole is 6 plus x plus 32. I actually have 3 parts I have to consider for the whole on that. Equals, and on the other one, the outside and the whole are both 40. All right, so I'm actually going to combine the 6 and the 32 here. So I'm going to have x plus 38 equals 40 times 40. It's going to give me 32x distributing. And let's see, 32 times 38 is a really big number, 1,216. And on the right-hand side, 40 times 40 is going to give me 1,600. I'm going to subtract this 1216. So I get 32x equals 384. Divide by 32. And I get x equals 12. That's half of my problem. Okay, once I have x, I can take that and plug it back in up here in order to figure out y. So then looking at the pop, pop part of the problem, I now have, I can redraw it. This is 6, this is 12, this is 9, and this is y, because I figured out that x was 12. So using pop, pop, 6 times 12 equals 9 times y. 6 times 12 is 72. 9 times y is just 9y. I'm going to divide by 9, and I get that y equals 8. And that's it.